you remember the first time that you posted something on the internet? You probably thought about it quite carefully, you worded it right, and you're probably very nervous when you posted send, and then you waited, and presumably not very much happened. It was like you were nervous that you were going on stage and you were expecting that there would be a big crowd and lots of people would respond to you. And it doesn't happen. And I think if we're really honest with ourselves, that every time we post something online, we have a little bit of that feeling that this is the one that's going to go viral. This is the one that lots of people will like, and it'll make me famous. Or at the very least, when you post something online and then you see that somebody else posted something similar and they got more likes and comments, and you always feel a little bit jealous. And personally, I'm not immune to this. When I ever post a photograph of my kids online, I'm always thinking, this is going to turn them into a star. And of course, it has never happened yet. But I kind of think that maybe we don't need to do this. Maybe we don't need to think this way. Do we really need to compete against each other for the amount of likes and shares and all of the rest of it that we get? And I think it's really important that we talk to our children about this when they start going on social media. That we needn't necessarily compete against each other, but also that we should give them some understanding of how social media actually works at this level. So what am I talking about here? Well, I'm talking about this thing is known as the threat of invisibility. And this is the sort of the experience or the feeling that when you're on social media, you won't be seen or you won't be important unless you regularly post things which get lots of likes and comments and shares and so on. Now, every social media newsfeed or timeline now is algorithmic. So you're no longer seeing things at the top of the feed, which are the most recent. You're seeing things up there that the algorithm thinks is what you're interested in. And these are generally things which have lots of likes and comments and shares. And that's what you will see at the top of your Facebook feed, your Twitter feed, Instagram, all of the rest of it is stuff that the social media service thinks you're going to be interested in. And this is what gives rise to the threat of invisibility. And I think this is a concept that you can use when you're talking to your children when they're on social media. So you ask them quite simply, the first couple of questions is, what do they see at the top of their timeline? And they will tell you, generally speaking, it's things that are really popular. And you can ask them, why isn't there anything up there that has 0 comments? Because surely there's a lot of things on the internet that nobody comments on. And why don't they see that on their feed? Second thing you can ask them is, how do they feel about being on social media, any platform, and not commenting? Why are they encouraged? Why do they feel like they have to like and comment and share on things? Like, who does that benefit? Does that benefit them, or does it benefit somebody else, or does it benefit the social media service? And the other thing you can ask them is there anything at the top of their feed which isn't already popular, which is like coming from an account which is already quite well established? Or is it something like, is it possible to be popular on social media if you're not already popular somewhere else? And how does that make it fair, is the point. Is that, to be seen on social media, do you have to be A, already quite popular, and B, somebody who posts lots of things regularly? And is this really something that they actually want to engage in? Is this normal for them? And what I'm basically trying to get at here is for us to think about what we're trying to achieve on social media. I want us to be a little bit more mindful about our posting. we don't necessarily have to compete against each other. We don't have to compete for likes and shares and comments. We can just simply be who we are and not engage in the competition. Because you have to tell your child that they are already visible to you and to the people that really matter in their lives without the number of likes, comments and shares which they receive. And that's why I think we should talk to our children about the threat of invisibility that we experience on social media.